They say it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to destroy it. Well, I'm about to find out what happens when your entire life gets obliterated in less than 24 hours. My name is Ethan Cole, and yesterday I was worth $15 billion. Today, I'm about to discover what it feels like to lose everything while the whole world watches. We never made it out of the building last night. Those footsteps I heard? They belonged to my own security team, but they weren't there to protect me. They were there to escort me to an emergency board meeting that would change everything. Right now, Sophia and I are sitting in a 24-hour diner 40 miles outside Seattle. She's wearing my jacket over her pajamas, and I'm in yesterday's clothes. We look like refugees from our own lives, and honestly, that's exactly what we are. My phone has been buzzing nonstop for 3 hours. Missed calls from investors, board members, journalists, even my own mother. But a call that made my blood run cold came at 3:47 a.m. from my CFO, Janet Morrison. "Ethan," she'd whispered into the phone, "don't come to the office. Don't go home. Something's happening, and you need to stay away until we figure this out." Let me tell you what happened after we heard those footsteps. The security team didn't break down our door. They knocked politely and announced they had urgent instructions from David Lin to escort me to an emergency board meeting. At midnight, I'd asked through the intercom, "Sir, there's been a development. The board is invoking emergency protocols." Sophia grabbed my arm. "Don't go, Ethan. This feels like a trap." But here's the thing about being CEO. Even when your world is collapsing, you still have responsibilities. I had to go. The boardroom was already full when I arrived. 12 of the 15 board members were present via video call, and the 3 who were physically there, David, Janet, and board chairman Robert Sterling, looked like they'd rather be anywhere else. David stood at the head of the table, where I usually sat. That should have been my first warning. "Ethan, thank you for coming," he said, not meeting my eyes. "We need to discuss some urgent matters that have come to our attention." Robert Sterling cleared his throat. He's been on my board since the beginning, helped me navigate my first major acquisition. Seeing the betrayal in his eyes was like watching my father disown me. "Ethan, we've received some disturbing information about your recent activities. Financial irregularities, security breaches, and personal conduct that puts the company at risk." What happened next was like watching my life get fed through a paper shredder in real time. David pulled up a presentation on the main screen. "Over the past month, there have been several unauthorized stock transactions made using your credentials. Trades that violated SEC insider trading regulations." The screen showed trading records, buy and sell orders worth millions, all made with my personal account information. The timestamps showed transactions happening while I was in meetings, some even while I was asleep. "I never made those trades," I said, but my voice sounded hollow even to me. "The trades were made using your personal credentials from your home IP address on devices registered to you," Janet said quietly. She wouldn't look at me either. Then David dropped the real bombshell. "Additionally, we have evidence that your personal devices were used to access competitor information and steal proprietary data from other companies." My stomach dropped. This was about the files Sophia had shown me, the evidence that my compromised laptop had been used as a weapon against other AI companies. "That wasn't me," I said desperately. "My systems were compromised. I'm the victim here, not the perpetrator." Robert Sterling leaned forward. "Ethan, whether you were aware of it or not, your negligence allowed company assets to be compromised and potentially exposed the company to massive legal liability. We have no choice but to take immediate action." David called for the vote with practiced efficiency, like he'd rehearsed this moment. All in favor of immediately suspending Ethan Cole as CEO pending a full investigation. I watched my life's work get voted away. 8 votes in favor, 4 against, 3 abstentions. Just like that, I was no longer the CEO of Cole Industries. "David Lin will assume the role of interim CEO effective immediately," Robert announced. I looked around the room at these people. Some I'd known for years, others I'd handpicked myself. They were looking at me like I was a stranger, like I was dangerous. "You don't understand," I said, standing up. "This is exactly what they wanted. David Marcus Gray is using you. This whole thing is a setup to destroy me and take over the company." David's expression was unreadable. "Ethan, I think you need to step back and consider that maybe your judgment has been compromised. The stress, the paranoia, the accusations against people who care about you." The word paranoia hit me like a slap. They thought I was losing my mind. "Ethan." Sophia reaches across the table and touches my hand. You're gripping that coffee cup like you're trying to crush it. I look down and realize she's right. My knuckles are white, and my hands are shaking. Sorry, I was just thinking about last night. The diner is nearly empty except for a trucker in the corner booth, and a waitress who looks like she's been working here since the Reagan administration. The smell of bacon grease and burnt coffee should be comforting, but right now it just reminds me how far I've fallen. My phone buzzes with another call. This time it's from someone I don't recognize, a reporter from the Seattle Times. Mr. Cole, this is Jennifer Walsh. I'm calling about the story that's about to break. Would you like to comment on the allegations of insider trading and corporate espionage? I hang up without responding, but the damage is done. The story is going public. Within an hour, my phone becomes unusable. Call after call from reporters, investors, business partners. Sophia helps me turn off, but the damage is spreading faster than we can contain it. The diner has a small TV mounted in the corner, and at 6 a.m., the morning news starts. The third story is about me. Tech billionaire Ethan Cole has been removed as CEO of Cole Industries amid allegations of insider trading and corporate espionage. Sources close to the company suggest that Cole's personal devices may have been used to steal proprietary information from competitor companies. Sophia's hand finds mine under the table. They're making you sound like a criminal. The news anchor continues. Cole Industries stock opened down 42% in pre-market trading as investors fled the embattled AI company. The Pentagon has also announced they are reviewing their relationship with Cole Industries following these allegations. 42%. In one night, I've lost more money than most people will see in their entire lives. At 7:15 a.m., something happens that I should have expected but still catches me off guard. My emergency phone, a backup device that only 5 people have the number to, starts ringing. The caller ID shows a number I don't recognize, but somehow I know exactly who it is. Hello, Ethan. The voice is smooth, almost friendly. Marcus Gray. Marcus. I wanted to call and congratulate you on your spectacular fall from grace. Though I have to admit, it happened even faster than I anticipated. Sophia grabs my arm, her eyes wide. She mouths speakerphone, and I comply. Enjoying your breakfast? Marcus continues. I hear Mel's diner has excellent pancakes. My blood runs cold. He knows where we are. What do you want, Marcus? What do I want? He laughs. Ethan, I already have everything I want. Your company, your reputation, your future, all destroyed. David is doing an excellent job as interim CEO, don't you think? David isn't working for you, I say, but even as I say it, I'm not sure I believe it anymore. Oh, Ethan, you still don't understand how deep this goes, do you? David didn't just help me destroy you. He orchestrated it. Every board vote, every piece of evidence, every perfectly timed revelation. David has been planning this for 2 years. You see, Marcus continues, his voice taking on a lecturing tone, David never forgot that you started this company together, but somehow only your name ended up on the patents. Only your face ended up on magazine covers. Only your net worth hit the billions while he stayed in the background. I think back to the early days of Cole Industries. David and I had been equal partners originally, but as the company grew, the focus shifted to my vision, my leadership, my public persona. David had seemed content to work behind the scenes, managing operations while I handled strategy and publicity. David came to me 18 months ago, Marcus says. Not the other way around. He wanted revenge just as much as I did, but he was smart enough to plan it properly. Sophia is staring at me in horror. This changes everything we thought we knew about the conspiracy. The insider trading, the security breaches, even your relationship with Sophia. David helped orchestrate all of it. I look at Sophia, and for a moment, doubt creeps back in. What do you mean, my relationship with Sophia? Marcus's laugh is cold. David was the one who suggested you attend that charity gala in San Francisco 8 months ago. David was the one who made sure Sophia would be there. David was the one who introduced you, even though you probably don't remember him doing it. Suddenly, I do remember. The charity gala where I met Sophia, I hadn't planned to attend. David had insisted, said it would be good for company PR. He'd even helped me pick out what to wear, joked about me finding the love of my life that night. I thought it was just David being supportive. Now I realize it was David setting me up for destruction. She was supposed to be just another honey trap, Marcus continues. Someone to get close to you, steal information, then disappear. But Sophia got complicated, didn't she? Started actually caring about you. Sophia is crying now, silent tears streaming down her face. That's why David had to accelerate the timeline, Marcus says. Sophia was becoming unreliable, developing actual feelings. So David decided to end it all at once. Destroy your company, destroy your reputation, destroy your life in a single coordinated attack. As if Marcus's call wasn't devastating enough, my financial advisor calls 20 minutes later with news that makes everything worse. Ethan, I need you to sit down, Harrison Webb says. He's managed my money for 8 years, helped me build and diversify my fortune. I'm already sitting, Harrison. How bad is it? Bad. Really bad. Your coal industry stock holdings, that was 60% of your net worth, are now worth about 15% of what they were yesterday. But that's not the worst part. I close my eyes. What's the worst part? The margin loans. You had $700 million in margin loans backed by coal industry stock. With the stock price collapse, the banks are calling in those loans immediately. You have 48 hours to pay them back, or they start seizing assets. $700 million. Due in 48 hours. Harrison, I don't have $700 million in liquid assets. I know, which means they're going to start taking everything else. The penthouse, the houses in Aspen and Malibu, the art collection, the cars, even your personal bank accounts to cover the shortfall. By noon, it starts happening. I'm sitting in the diner watching my entire life get auctioned off on my laptop. Bank notices flood my email. Notice of asset seizure. Final demand for payment. Foreclosure proceedings initiated. The penthouse where Sophia and I had our confrontation last night, seized by the bank. My collection of classic cars, including the 1967 Shelby Cobra, that was my first major purchase after the company went public, seized. The house in Aspen where I was planning to take Sophia for our honeymoon, seized. My personal art collection, including pieces by Basquiat and Warhol that I'd spent years acquiring, all seized. In less than 12 hours, I've gone from billionaire to essentially broke. Ethan, Sophia says quietly, there's something I need to tell you. I look up from my laptop, where I'm watching my life get dismantled in real time. What now? Last night, when I was deleting those files, I found something else. Bank records showing payments to me that I never received. She pulls out her phone and shows me screenshots. Look at this. According to these records, I've been paid $150,000 over the past 3 months for competitive intelligence gathering. But I never received any of that money. The bank statements show regular payments to an account in Sophia's name, but it's not her account. Someone has been setting up financial records to make it look like I was being paid for corporate espionage, she says. Even my bank accounts have been compromised. I stare at the documents, and suddenly everything becomes clear. This isn't just about destroying my company or getting revenge. This is about creating a perfect frame-up that implicates everyone around me. They're not just destroying me, I realize aloud. They're making sure that everyone who could help me rebuild looks guilty too. You, Lila, even my own security team, anyone who could testify on my behalf has been compromised. Sophia nods. And now that you're no longer CEO, David has complete control of the company. He can reshape it however he wants, fire anyone loyal to you, bring in his own people. But why? I ask. Why go through all this elaborate planning just to take over one company? The answer comes from an unexpected source. The TV in the corner, which has been playing local news all morning, suddenly switches to financial news. The anchor is talking about coal industries. Interim CEO David Lin announced this morning that coal industries will be pivoting away from consumer AI applications to focus exclusively on defense contracts. The company has also announced a merger with Neural Tech Industries, pending regulatory approval. Neural Tech Industries, the same company that stole our Pentagon contract. Everything clicks into place. This was never about revenge or personal betrayal. This was a corporate takeover disguised as a personal vendetta. They needed me gone to change the company's direction, I say to Sophia. Coal Industries was focused on consumer applications, democratizing AI technology. But Neural Tech specializes in military and surveillance applications. You mean they destroyed your life to build weapons? Worse than that, they destroyed my life to build a surveillance empire. Consumer AI was always about helping people. Military AI is about controlling people. My phone buzzes with one final call. This time it's David. Ethan, his voice is cold, professional. I wanted to call personally to let you know that Coal Industries will not be providing any legal support for your current difficulties. The board feels it's important to distance the company from your personal legal issues. David, we've been friends for 10 years. We built this company together. We built a company, Ethan. But you turned it into a cult of personality. Everything was about Ethan Cole, the visionary. Ethan Cole, the genius. Ethan Cole, the future of AI. Well, now it's time for the company to become what it was always meant to be. As David hangs up, I realize that Marcus was telling the truth. David wasn't just a pawn in someone else's game. He was the architect of my destruction. Every move, every betrayal, every perfectly timed revelation was designed to not just destroy me, but to transform my company into something I never wanted it to become. Sophia, I say, we need to disappear for a while. What do you mean? I mean David and Marcus won't be satisfied with just ruining me financially. They need to make sure I can never come back, never expose what they've done, which means they need to eliminate me permanently. I pull out my emergency credit card, one of the few accounts that hasn't been frozen yet, and place $200 on the table. We're going to walk out of here like a normal couple finishing breakfast. We're going to get in my car, the one asset they haven't found yet because it's registered under a shell company, and we're going to drive somewhere they can't track us. Where? I have a cabin in Montana. Completely off the grid, purchased through a trust 5 years ago for exactly this kind of emergency. We can regroup there, figure out our next move. As we prepare to leave, Sophia asks the question I've been dreading. Ethan, what if we can't prove any of this? What if David and Marcus have covered their tracks too well? I look at her, this woman who might be the only person in the world who still believes in me, and I realize that I have a choice. I can accept defeat, disappear forever, and let them win. Or I can fight back with everything I have left. The vow. Then we'll build something new, I say. They took my company, my reputation, my fortune. But they can't take my knowledge, my experience, or my determination to expose the truth. What are you saying? I'm saying that David Lin and Marcus Gray have made one crucial mistake. They assumed that destroying Ethan Cole the billionaire would destroy Ethan Cole the man. But I built my first company from nothing, and if I have to, I'll do it again. Even if it takes years. Especially if it takes years. Because the longer it takes, the more comfortable they'll become. The more comfortable they become, the more mistakes they'll make. And when they do, I'll be ready. As we walk toward the door, I notice something that makes my blood freeze. There's a man at the corner booth who wasn't there when we arrived. He's wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses, reading a newspaper, but the newspaper is upside down. He's been listening to our entire conversation. I grab Sophia's hand and whisper, "Don't look back. Don't run. Just walk normally to the car." But as we reach the parking lot, I see 2 black SUVs parked at either end of the lot, engines running. Men in suits standing casually beside them, trying to look like they belong. We're surrounded. Sophia squeezes my hand. "Ethan, what do we do now?" I look at the men closing in on us, and I realize that David Marcus's plan wasn't just to destroy my life. It was to make sure I disappeared permanently. They say that when you lose everything, you discover who you really are. Well, I'm about to find out if Ethan Cole is the kind of man who lies down and dies, or the kind of man who comes back swinging. 24 hours ago, I was one of the richest men in America. Now, I'm a fugitive from my own life, running from people who want to make sure I never tell my story. But here's what they don't understand. I've got nothing left to lose, which means I've got everything to fight for. The only question is whether I'll live long enough to get my revenge.